Hello, I'm Ray Piggott. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I left school at the age of 17 following a state education. I did not go to university, and I signed up for an apprenticeship in heavy engineering. At the other end of my career, I was chairman and chief executive of a telecommunications company with a turnover of £165 million, with 2,000 employees and 55 offices around the world and 5 factories. In between times, I conducted business in many countries in the world, and as a result learned at first hand how business is conducted in those countries. The most notable one, of course, being North America. What I discovered was that British engineers and British workers have all of the talents to compete with these other countries, perhaps more so in many, but do not yet take on board the commercial aspect that's necessary to be successful in today's very, very competitive world. Why is this commercial dimension to our career important? You know, it's very tempting to do the job that our employer has employed us to do and to do no other. You do your job on a very narrow front the company's asked you to do, and you can probably do that for quite a considerable period. You're then doing what the company wants and the company's pleased, which is good for the company. But what has it done for you? It means you're operating your career on a very narrow front, and you will at one day become vulnerable because technology will move on or the company will move on and you are still left. You've not added to your skill set. So in your own long-term career interests, you need to add other dimensions to your basic skill set. What do these other departments in the firm do? What does HR do? What does marketing do? What does sales do? What does technical support do? What do all these different people do? The more you arm yourself with the knowledge of what they do, then the more valuable you are to the company that employs you, and perhaps more importantly, the more valuable you are to yourself when you want to go out onto a wider marketplace. So it is important. If you're into a design area, it's important that you also look at the commercial saleability of whatever it is you're doing. Every person in the company ought to be aware that out there is a customer, and everybody ought to be relating to that customer and knowing that all of their efforts are directed towards that customer. So it's important to anybody in their lives that they develop themselves and see themselves as a one-man business on a payroll.